Hello everybody and a warm welcome from all of us at Opal IT for today's webinar. We are going to be taking a look at our preferred method for deployment by using the power of Jamf Conect and Microsoft Azure to provision a new machine out of the box. So let's just take a look at the agenda for today. First off, we are going to give you a quick introduction to Opal and Jamf for those of you who don't already know us. We will then take a look at the supported cloud identity providers for Jamf Conect. Finally, we will take you through a demonstration of our deployment process using Jamf Conect as a pre-stage enrollment. So for those of you who are on the webinar who don't know who Opal are, here's a little bit of a background. We're a managed service provider with offices based in Newcastle upon Tyne and Edinburgh. We have over 20 years of experience with the deployment of Apple technology within the education and enterprise sectors. We are recognised as a leading UK-based Jamf integrator, as well as a Jamf Gold partner. We are also an established member of the Apple Consultants Network, which means all of our engineers are trained to Apple's highest standards, and we regularly perform consultancy work throughout the UK on behalf of Apple. So, anybody who is not familiar with Jamf, they are considered to be the gold standard for Apple device management. Jamf embraces the native Apple technology experience that consumers have come to know and trust. With over 15 years of experience exclusively managing Apple devices, Jamf currently have over 10,000 customers and over 7 million devices under management. Over the last 2 years, Jamf have experienced 100% revenue growth whilst maintaining a 95% customer retention rate. With over 60,000 members of the Jamf Nation community, there's always someone available to talk to about the range of products and services that Jamf can offer. Let's take a look at Jamf Connect in a little bit more detail. With Jamf Connect, IT admins can create local accounts from cloud identity providers such as Microsoft Azure, Google, Okta, and many more. Jamf Connect eliminates the need for companies to bind their Macs to Active Directory whilst maintaining account security with features such as multi-factor authentication. The product we will be discussing today is Jamf Connect and its integration with one of the IT industry's most popular cloud identity providers, Microsoft Azure. To use Jamf Connect, you must have clients on macOS 10.12 Sierra or later. You use one of the supported cloud identity providers below, and you use an MDM system such as Jamf Pro to distribute the packages and configuration files. So what we are going to do now is give you a quick demonstration of Jamf Connect authenticating against Microsoft Azure. If you would like to see this against other identity providers we mentioned earlier, just drop us a line at jamf@opal-it.co.uk and we can arrange a personal one-to-one demo with one of our engineers. So we're going to transition now to the demonstration environment. We are live streaming this, so we're going to do a little bit of buffering first. So apologise if there's any delay in the demonstration starting. If you feel that the quality has not come across to a high enough standard, just again drop us an email. We'd be more than happy to send out a high quality recording of this as well. Okay, so now that we understand a little bit more about Jamf Connect, let's take a look at how it deploys using a zero-touch deployment method. So in front of me, I have a standard Apple Mac out of the box, and we have to go through the setup screens. So the first thing I want to do is just select United Kingdom as the language here, and also choose British as the keyboard layout. We are now met with the remote management screen. So at some point during the Apple activation, the serial number has flagged up that it belongs to an MDM system. In our case, that's Jamf Pro. So if I just click continue, the device should go out to our Jamf Pro server to download the MDM profile. Now this process can take around about 30 seconds to a minute, so we'll just let it run its course. We're keen not to speed up any screens during this demonstration, so we'll just let that run at its normal speed so you can see exactly how long it takes. Okay, so as we set this up as a pre-stage, we've decided to skip quite a lot of the setup screens, so the user should only be met with the actual time zone screen. And if I click continue, you'll now see we've completed that process and we're now setting up your Mac. Now what the system's doing here, it's actually downloading any packages or configuration that we have asked it to do at the pre-stage. So for example, for demonstration, we're pushing down the Jamf Connect package installer, we're pushing down the license file, and we're also pushing down the configuration file so it knows which Azure tenant to hit. We've also set up the Jamf Connect notify section, which means we can give the user a visual representation of what's happening to their device during deployment. So for example, we're doing such things as changing the device name. We want to apply some desktop customization as well. So for example, we want a customized desktop background and we want the dock to be configured. We also want to install some key applications. So we're pushing down Google Chrome just for demonstration purposes. But once the deployment is complete and the user is at their desktop, ideally Google Chrome should be installed and it should be placed in their customized dock to use. Following on from the installation of the key applications, we're going to apply some security settings to the device. So for example, we want to push down file vault disk encryption and we want the user to start that process off before arriving at their desktop. We also want some key application updates to go out if they are available, so that we quickly check with Opal to make sure the system is up to date. And finally, before moving on, we just do a quick inventory update just to make sure that the information is passed from the machine to the Jamf Pro server at this stage. Okay, so now the process of deployment is complete. You will see that we've actually replaced the native Apple login window or account creation window with a Microsoft login window. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter my email address. It's worth noting that this isn't actually my corporate email address. This is just a demo account we are using for the purpose of the webinar. And you'll see that the customization changes once again. So it now knows which Azure tenancy I'm in, and it's now passing down our customization. So I'll just pop in my password. Now, because we have multi-factor authentication here at Opal, my personal device is now just beeped next to me and it's asking me to approve the creation of this account. So this uses the Microsoft Authenticator app, and I'll just give that a quick approval right away. So the final step of Jamf Conect is choosing what I want my local password to be. Now these can be different or these can be the same. I'm actually going to keep that the same as my Azure credentials, and that should keep them all in sync. So we just complete that process and let's move forward to create the account. So you'll see that the user gets prompted to enable file vault. So let's just give that a quick enable. And we also get a little message to say that this may take a few minutes. So let's click OK again. And what that's doing in the background, that's just now enforcing the file vault disk encryption onto the device. This process can, as it said, take around about 1 to 2 minutes, but let's just see exactly how long this does take. It shouldn't be too much longer before we can proceed. Okay, so we've now just gone over 5 minutes of the demonstration. And in that time, we've achieved the pre-stage enrollment, the initial setup screens. We've gone through the Jamf Conect notify section to show the user exactly what's happening during deployment. We've successfully logged into the machine against our Azure tenancy. And we're now just getting displayed the final setting up your Mac screen from Apple before passing us to the desktop. So there we have the desktop. We have our customized Opal background picture. And that's now just quickly applying the dock setup for us. So we've specified as an IT team how we want the dock to look on everyone's machine. If we just take a little look around the operating system just to see exactly what it has done during this process. So you'll see if we go to security and privacy, and to file vault, you'll see that the device is actually now encrypting. And if I just step away from the machine for a second into our Jamf Conect server, if I just do a quick refresh, jump into computers and the Mac Mini, and this was the machine that was just enrolled 3 or 4 minutes ago. And if I just head down to File Vault 2, you will see that we have a Get File Vault 2 recovery key. When I can view that. So I now know without having any IT user interaction that the machine actually now is encrypted. And from an administration point of view, I actually have the recovery key needed to unlock that machine should I need to. Okay, so let's just take a look back at the system. So I mentioned before the doc's configured, but we also have a self-service icon. So if I just open up self-service just to let you see exactly what we can do in here. So to keep the deployment as quick as possible, we've just pushed out some key applications during that process. If we want to take it a step further, we can now provide applications in configuration to the user to install. So if I was to head to the browser section, you'll see that there's 3 browsers to choose from. Now Google Chrome says reinstall because it's already installed and it's available in the dock for the user to use. But let's install Firefox. So again, this downloads from the Amazon distribution point, verifies the package integrity, and it installs it on the machine. As a final step, we've also asked for the icon to be placed into the dock, which is what's just refreshed for us right now. So what else can self-service offer? So if I was a new user and I wanted to print out a document, I go to printers and scanners and I don't have anything set up. So let's see if IT have helped us out. Okay, there's a printer section in self-service and I have the option to install the Newcastle Office printer. So let's go ahead and just give that a quick install now. Okay, that's now complete. If I head back to printers and scanners, I now have the Opal Office printer installed for me. From a support point of view, we also have support tools. So if I was on a call with a user and I needed to speak to them about an issue with their machine, I could ask them to go to the support section of self-service and display some computer information for me. Now this section is configured to show some key information like the device name, the serial number, its IP address, and it also does some other network checks. If I had to enable remote support on the machine, I could simply ask the user to click the remote support button. In the background, I would then have predefined exactly what remote support application we use. For example, that could be BombGuard, that could be TeamViewer. I would have the application launch. I would also have a supporting email, grab the connection details to that application and email straight to the help desk. So self-service is a great little portal for you to put support tools in as well. But if we just head back to Office 365, you see that we have Microsoft Outlook, but it says reinstall. As part of the deployment process, we actually pushed this out at enrollment just so we can speed up the process for the user a little bit. So this application is actually cached on the machine ready to be installed. If I just scroll down Office 365 a bit further, you'll see we've got a little icon called Set Up Your Email. And if we just give that a little click now, let's just see exactly what happens here. So we want Outlook to be placed into the user's dock if they choose to set up your email. And there it goes. We also want a little pop-up box to come up and tell the user what they need to do next. So we're just informing the user that the application is in the dock and it's been fully configured with your email settings. And all they need to do now is just simply open up the application and authenticate to continue. So let's just have a look at how that works. So if we launch Microsoft Outlook for the first time, it should in theory pick up some configuration that we've already pushed out to it at deployment stage. So as you can see, it already knows who I am. It's pre-populated my email account. It's actually branded the login process again with the Opal icon and a little bit of information. So let's go ahead and sign into email. Again, we have two-factor authentication, so I'll just wait for that prompt to come through. And I'll simply just approve that to create this account. Okay, so we're getting asked if we want to use intelligent services. Let's just select not now at the moment. That can actually be skipped if you need to. And we've now asked Outlook to proceed and authenticate using my email. And there you go, welcome to Opal. So that is how quick we can now deploy Outlook using the power of Jamf Conect and our deployment processes. One final thing just to discuss is the account creation. So if I just head to users and groups, you'll see there I am, Michael Thompson, but my account is standard. Now we configure that as your end. But if there was an instance in your organization where you wanted an admin account to be Michael Thompson, let's just give you a quick demonstration of how that process would work. So I'm actually just going to log out this machine. Now this should take me back to the Microsoft login window, but it should this time have my account details pre-populated. So there you go, I can pick an account, Michael Thompson. But let's just quickly navigate over to Azure. So in Azure, under the Active Directory settings, we have application registrations. And if I just select the Jamf Conect application registration, you'll see we have a manifest option. So what we do, we actually apply an app roles section into the manifest, and that defines if the user is part of the admin group here, or if it's part of the standard group here. And I'll just give you a quick demonstration on how that works. So if we jump back to Azure Active Directory and we go to our enterprise applications, you'll see that we have a Jamf Conect login application in the list. And we have 4 users who are allowed to use this application. One of the users is myself, Michael Thompson, and as you can see, the role assigned is standard. But let's just say I had to do some work that required an administrator account. Let's just select Michael Thompson and click Edit. And I'll get the option to select the role. So let's just make me an admin. And we'll just select that to apply. And we'll just finally assign. So that's me now assigned as an administrator. So we quickly just pop back to the login window. And I once again select the Michael Thompson account. Let's just quickly sign in again. Once again, we'll just get through that multi-factor authentication screen. And I can now authenticate into my account, which is exactly the same password. Okay, so that's me back at my desktop, back into system preferences in the user account setting, and you can see here that Michael Thompson is now an admin. So with the power of Jamf Conect, it's very, very easy to change the level of account that your users are, and it always comes in very, very handy. It is a bit of a challenge having to go to the machine and change it from a standard to an admin account, especially if you have users all over the world. So that's it from us here at Opal. We hope you found this session informative. If you do think you would benefit from a further demonstration of the product, just drop us a line at jamf@opal-it.co.uk, and one of our engineers will be more than happy to take you through the product on a personal one-to-one session. I'd also like to just point you in the direction of the Jamf Nation Roadshow that's happening at Tobacco Dock in London on Friday the 17th of May. The guys from Opal are going to be down there along with system engineers from Jamf. It's a very informative day, lots of good events, customer success stories. So we highly recommend you get yourself down there if you have availability. To register, the link's just at the top of the screen. We'd hope to see you there. So once again, guys, thank you very much for your time. We hope you found it informative and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Goodbye.